April 10th, 2023. How's it going, guys? I got another video for you, and we're getting ready to go down that snake hole today. Oh, we're going to go down that snake hole. We're going to talk about a lot more here on East 47th Street South, Independence, Missouri, and beautiful Kansas City here. Well, you know, there's a lot of drug activity and stuff that's going on here, and the thing that's caught my eye here in the last couple of weeks is we've had a massive amount more people start moving in to where there was already a lot of people in these homes. Why is that? And they're coming from out of state. We got, in a lot of these places too, I'm seeing Texas and Utah, massive Texas and Utah. Now there are a few other states too that have come in here that I just find interesting. We're going to talk about that too. But I was in the bathroom at around 2 a.m. and the security cam tripped, and somebody had spotlighted the front of the house. Well, I had to go, like I say, and I had to rewind the tape on that one. But before I could do that, this vehicle goes to the top of the hill. Now you got to understand something. It goes up the top of the hill and it sets, and then somebody gets out of it. Now there's a lot of drug activity that takes place at the top of that hill. Those houses, there's a lot of activity going back and forth. There's cars that set up even on Crysler and 47th Street for a long time out in the middle of the street, and then they drive on. And I got tape after tape after tape after SD cards with all those on it. And I'm going to show a little bit of that. But a few days back, I'm going to show something here. We're going to just go through and show this real quick. Okay, guys, I'm back. Now, this is from a few days back. And there's two guys coming up the street. And one's going to cross over and actually go on to come up onto my property. Not good, guys. Because some of these, like I say, they're not all just homeless. There's something else too. I was watching this. So let's watch this real quick. And I actually had one of my cameras jammed for a little bit, but when they figured out that it wasn't going to do no good, it got unjammed. Plus, somebody in the neighborhood here, I got a video of, unplugged my light. It's underneath the tree. Now, we're going to freeze that for a second. We're going to talk about tactics too. Now, these guys are pretty good distance apart, right? Now, if you were thinking about maybe in a military operation, and say this guy was going in, and this guy, say he had some weapons, they're pretty good distance apart. So if this one goes in, somebody comes out, this one would be a good backup, wouldn't it? And you never know what I got here backing me up. Now, what brought this up was what happened at 2 a.m. this morning, because there was a police vehicle that spotlighted the house, then went top of the hill, but it didn't have no flashes or anything on. And then at the very top of the hill, somebody got out of it. And he didn't have his lights flashing or nothing like that or anything. And it looks strange because we've had multiple Independence police vehicles come over here. And got this house even across the street, this one over here. Now, the same people don't live there anymore. That was where they, actually, I could go back and I can show you where they were doing the drugs real heavy over there. All these rental properties are terrible. But they had actually took their fist and beat holes through the door. And I'll look, see if I can find that. But this guy here, I'm going to enlarge this a little bit more. Let's see. And let's see what we can do here. Go ahead. As you can see, let's see, I stopped it. He's right there. And he's going all the way up. He's on the property. And this guy. Now, don't know. These guys don't look too homeless to me. And this was fairly late. And I just thought that was very weird. But I'm going to show this video. It's about a 6-minute video too here. This Independence police vehicle that come up, spotlighted the house and stuff. Back in the old days, they used to go down through the street and look for, see if anybody was, you know, between the houses trying to steal things, which was a good thing, guys. I mean, don't have no problem with that at all. But what did bother me was this this police officer got out, and you couldn't tell what the vehicle was up there. And in our neighborhood, there's some people, even in this area here, that have old, actually like police vehicles with spotlights on them. We've been spotlighted here before. Then you got tow truck drivers too that will go up and down. Now there's some tow truck drivers here too that are bad over in this area and are involved in some of this stuff. I mean, it all is mixed together. Okay, guys? But hold on, I'm going to show this, so just give me a second. Also, I'll show this real quick too. This is how some of them come down. That looks something, doesn't it? With a mask on and a hoodie and everything. This is daytime here, so hold on. There's another one right there. Hold on, guys. And here's another video that, if you can see, and this happens between 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, and they go up here to Crysler back and forth, back and forth. So it's a real deal. Now, I mean, we have people that go up and down the street too, okay? And, I mean, we have our regulars, but what I'm showing here is not regulars. Yeah, these are the regulars that are dealing probably the meth, the fentanyl, and everything else. I mean, we got ones running bags back and forth in between some of these houses and stuff. Now, what would you be carrying black bags back and forth? I don't know. I got videos of that stuff too. Going across the street here on a public street back and forth. What would you be doing? I mean, what would they be doing? I don't know. But this doesn't look good. Too bad last night this person wasn't standing out there at 2 a.m. But it just seems like Independence never gets them. But it's real. And I want everybody to see this, definitely. So hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. And here is that police vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and just hit this. Playing it. I'm trying to see if I'm okay. Try to darken that down too. And this is right at almost 2 a.m. now. That my clock on this deal here isn't correct, but this was right at 2 a.m. And you see right there, person gets out. I can see a light, and they're walking down through there. Now, that just looked weird because usually when I've called them out and when I've seen them come out on other deals, usually they'll have their lights at least flashing so you can see them. Now, I'm sure tactful wise, I mean, I guess if there's more of a threat, they wouldn't. But then that made me think, what other could be more than a threat? Well, I go outside. I want to know, because I don't like when it comes to anybody being up close to the house. You know, anybody can tell you strategic wise, that's not a good move. If you have to get into a battle, a shootout, or anything else with someone, you know, you have all these defensive YouTubers and stuff that talk about, you know, home invasions, different things like that. You want to be prepared. So I went out last night because I wanted to see what was out there, and I definitely want to see what if it was crawling down through here, because like I said, could not see that this was a police vehicle, and this is 2 a.m. in the morning. Hold on, guys. But there's a lot of activity that goes on. A lot of activity. And like I said, in the last few days, I had one of my cameras jammed. And somebody, I'll just put it this way, unplugged my light, and I got a video of it. So that's okay. We got a couple more cameras coming, like I say, that we're going to make sure that there is no gaps any longer. So I just found that odd. There's so much activity going across up there at Crysler and 47th Street South over here in Independence. That's not even funny. Now he went on up and he turned around and came back down. And then, hold on, guys. More good something, multiple dead people in Kentucky something. Oh boy. Okay, like I say, very, very strange. I don't know. I don't know what this was. It's got a call on something. Now, like I say, I have hardline cameras, and then I have the SD Wi-Fi cameras both. And I don't know. I didn't see anything on this anyway, which I thought was weird. But, you know, you never know. You do have to go to the bathroom on and off occasionally. So, very strange. Very, very strange. And at 2:20 a.m., our friendly fire truck went down the street. Believe it or not. Well, I don't wonder what they're doing that early in the morning. Oh no. Pretty wild. Now, those Wi-Fi jammers actually are not actually a jammer, but how they do it is basically it resets the Wi-Fi, so it kicks it out. So if anybody, you know, if you want to know how they're doing it, that's how they do it. Oh, there's always another way. They always find another way to get around something. See how far we are on this, guys. We're almost to the end here now. It's 5 minutes, 30 seconds. We only had 6 minutes, 44, so that's where I cut it off. So just got about another minute. But interesting. Very interesting. And usually most of the time once they get back in the vehicle, they take off pretty quick, but they didn't. Like I say, there are other vehicles out here in this neighborhood that are not police vehicles. I've even talked a couple times to a couple of Independence police about that even. And they have spotlights on them and stuff and sirens still. And they go to auction because, see, some of these car dealers, some of this stuff's bad here. And the ones, like I say, they bring the drugs in at some of these car lot places. That's how they transport their drugs. So, but these vehicles are supposed to, all the bells and whistles are supposed to be removed. A lot of times they don't uh, take actually the spotlight off, because then it can leave a hole there where water can get in actually into the vehicle itself. But the sirens and all the other stuff, everything else should be off all that. And they don't do it. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys. Now we're going to jump, not too much different here, but this is down here off Crysler and 44th Street. And you see this house here, which is kind of a strange thing. And I'm going to explain something here about that. There, way back, there was a old Mustang that used to sit out there, just kind of sat out there and kind of half rusted and rotted for a long time on this house. But during that, when we had that big plug-like thing that happened, all of a sudden this house popped up with a whole bunch of brand new vehicles out in front. Now what I'm showing here is this big branch is tree limb. Now I called Independence Power and Light today because I wanted to see, because actually I seen a homeless person pulling on this. I don't think this wire here is all power, but I don't know. I mean, you have your telephone wires still, and you have your cable lines. And since some of these are, some of these homeless are doped up and everything else, they don't understand about all that stuff. But what I don't get about this is these vehicles that they brought into this. Because when all this stuff happened a couple years back, and this was over 2 years ago. And I'm going to show you something. Hold on. Okay, guys, I'm back. And now, these vehicles, first, this stuff looked weird too, man. You got 4 brand new vehicles. And they didn't have Bob Site Kia on it before. It didn't have that. None of them had any license plates at all on them. So what I really find interesting, that this is from Bob Site Kia, these were. And they have South Dakota tags on all of them. Now, it don't matter if you're running a business or not. You wouldn't have tags. My dad was a supervisor for Hudson and Coke Marketing, like the ones that did the oil and also the asphalt like deal they had downtown here by Rosedale. Well, what's interesting about this is he had company cars. They furnished him company cars. But if they had different license plates on them from different states or anything, they had to get license plates here for Missouri. I mean, if you live in Missouri anyway, you have to. So these vehicles, okay, so where I'm going with this is you got to understand something. So say that somebody said, well, I have a business and I have all these vehicles. Well, this just looked weird. I'm on you, all these dark vehicles, none of them had tags on them. And then this. I don't know. That just looks weird to me. Very strange. But hold on, I'm going to show this. Hold on, guys. Well, there's one of them right there. That's another one with the South Dakota tag. There's one behind the tree there. And there's another one right there. Plus, they have this commercial big truck setting there. I don't know what Kansas City, Missouri does, but Missouri Independence over here, I mean, they used to basically, you remember, I talked about this even up in Raytown. Raytown wouldn't allow, a friend of mine, his dad was a truck driver, long hauler, and they had problems because if you tried to come in and pull his 18-wheeler in by the house, they'd be out there on him about it. And I don't know, I just thought this was weird. Kind of reminds you of one of those deals like Invasion USA or something, huh, guys? But, it's been over 2 years here. in those vehicles have South Dakota tags still? And this is where, hold on, where that limb is. Off from the corner over there off Crysler. I don't know, guys. I had a hard time this morning getting anybody even on this. I called Independence Power and Light because that's what I was told out at City Independence when I was out there at the courthouse last week. Because I had a few other things we needed to talk about on some things people are doing out here, code violations and stuff. And they told me, so we'll call Power and Light on that because they'll deal with it. So Power and Light ran it through their system, and they said, what is that, Evergy, or however you say it, Evergy or whatever. They said, that's theirs. So I had to call them. It took me almost an hour this morning just to talk about, calling about this, because there was a homeless person yanking on this thing. Now, I'm sure if that wire was hot, I know that person wouldn't even be standing around anymore, but I don't know. That's wild. I don't know, guys. Anyway, just a short video, guys. Or maybe it's not too short. It's about almost 22 minutes long now. But keep your eyes open. Do recommend getting some security cams for your home out there. Make sure some are wired and some are actually, it's okay, Wi-Fi wireless or whatever. Just found that interesting. But then that tells me something else, one other thing too. It just shows how much more crud's getting in this area, because if they can if they're trying to jam the camera, that just takes it to a whole nother level, doesn't it? Anyway, keep your eyes open, guys, and stay safe out there.